I just alerted Karthik. He's going to join now, so I can start at 11.
Okay, yeah. I've already started the streaming. Yeah. You can see the screen, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, I think it is already 11. So I think let us get started. I don't know whether he has joined. Let me just check if...
So he can start. He's just joining, I think. He's online, I can
Parayan.
see. I called him. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think let us get started. Om Gam Ganapate Namaha, Om Gam Gurubhyo Namaha, Om Saraswati Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna, Jai Sita Ramachandra. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo, Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Vamsharishibhyo, Mahadbhyo, Namo Gurubhya. So welcome everybody to the 8th session of online Gita Parayan and Satsanga for this year, 2024. It's soon coming to an end. So today is a very auspicious day, as I think most of our days are very auspicious days. Today is the first day of Margashirsha month. You know, Margashirsha, even Bhagavad Gita itself says that Masvana Margashirshoham. Today is Margashirsha month according to the Purnimantha calendar system, whereas according to the Amavasya calendar system, the Kartik month, the previous month, is still continuing. So at least today is Margashirsha, the first day, according to one calendar system, which is popular in many of the states of India. And then another important thing is even in the solar calendar system, today is the Vrishchikam, first of Vrishchikam, the first of the start of the Mandala period for the Sabrimala devotees. So again, very auspicious day. So welcome everybody to this on this very, very auspicious day, this beautiful Bhagavad Gita chanting and satsanga. So this year we are doing this full chanting of the Gita in 9 sessions, and today is the 8th session. So that means we have just one more session left before the final session for this year. So we are chanting the full chapters in each session, and today we are doing chapter 16 and 17, altogether 52 verses. So each verse chanted will also be repeated by another lead chanter to facilitate learning, proper chanting by all. All our lead chanters are now available, so everybody are excellent chanters. So we plan to complete the full chapters before the actual Gita Jayanti day this year, which happens to be on the 11th of December. We'll make further announcements of this regarding the event that we are going to have towards the end of this session today. So today we have welcome address, and the guest speaker for today is Karthik Ji from SDBBS, and session talk is by Dr. Ananda Ji, a resident Acharya or a teacher at Chinmaya Seva Center, who is a very long time associate of Gita Jayanti. And please note that today's session is being live streamed over Facebook and YouTube, and you can access this session on the Gita Jayanti channels of YouTube as well as Facebook at any time in future. And also the Zoom call will be muted for all participants except for the lead chanters and the co-hosts, so that all participants will not there'll be no disturbances. And participants can unmute during the Q&A session at the end of the session, so that people can ask questions directly to Dr. Ananda Ji, who will be delivering the lecture today. And with these small words, let us get started. And with the humble prostrations and pranams to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna and all the Guru Parambaras, as well as all the devotees of the Lord. So let us get started. So we will start the session with invocation of the invocation mantras by Sunilji. Over to Sunilji, please.
Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavathitamastu Ma Vidyushavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shuklam Bharadharam Vishnum Shashivarnam Chadurbhujam Prasannavadanam Dhyaye Sarva Vignopashantaye Saraswati Namastubhyam Varate Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Satta. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Jnananantamayam Devam Nirmalam Spatikakritim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upasmahe. Sarva Mangala Mankalye Shive Sarvartha Sadhike Sharanye Trambake Gauri Narayani Namostute. Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramardanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Vande Jagadgurum.
Thank you so much, Sunilji. I think Karthik ji has joined, our guest of honor for today. Let me make him as co-host. So now I need to unmute. Okay. So now today, so I will. Okay, let me just. Karthik ji is here. Oh, yeah. Okay, great.
I'm there. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let me spotlight you for everybody. I think you're in a car. Okay, great.
Yes, it is.
Okay, so our guest of honor for today is Karthik, basically the president of Dakshin Bharat Brahmana Sabha, who's been a long-term associate of Gita Jayanti for many years. So basically, he's a resident of Singapore for over 3 decades, and is now a privacy and data protection consultant and ISO 27K auditor. He started his volunteering for the Brahmana Sabha since he came to Singapore and joined the management committee in 2005, and currently its president from 2019. His exposure to the spiritual and scriptural studies started in 2013 with the Bhagavad Gita, and has been following Swami Paramarthananda's syllabus for Bhagavad Gita study and Swadhyaya. With the grace of the Gurus, he himself has been conducting scriptural study Satsanga every week since 2018, and has completed the Gita and Bhajagovindam and a few other texts. So we welcome our dear friend and our close associate, Sri Karthik ji. So thank you so much, Karthik ji, for joining today, and over to you.
Thank you, Krishna Kumar ji, and Hari Om, and welcome to everyone for this session. I hope you're able to hear me very well, as you can.
Very clear, very clear.
Very good, thank you. Yeah, so thanks for the introduction. And today, as it was said, we are going to do chapter 16 and 17. Gita, as you all know, is divided into 3 sections. The first section talks about the Jiva Swarupam, or what we call the Twampada, the Karma Yoga, and the Jiva Prayatna, the self-effort. And the second session talks about Ishvara Swarupam, or the Tatpada, Upasana Yoga, and the Ishvara Anugraha, which is the grace of the Lord. And the third section talks about the Jivatma Paramatma Aikyam, the oneness, the Asipada, and Jnana Yoga and values. Now, chapter 16 and 17 are those chapters that focus on the values that every individual should follow, both for worldly and definitely for their spiritual journey. No doubt, in chapter 13, Bhagavan spends clearly 3 or 4 verses on the values part, but these 2 chapters clearly focus only on those. And actually, because of the focus on the values, some of the spiritual gurus actually start the lectures, Gita lectures, from these 2 chapters itself. The knowledge imparted in these 2 chapters help cleans the mind, prepares the mind for getting this spiritual knowledge. It's just like one cleans the plate before the food is served, so that the food gets digested and assimilated so because if there are impurities, what happens, right? You'll get stomach aches and the other side effects that come with it. So that's the important part. And if you look at chapter 16, just give me a second. It's titled Daivasura Vibhaga Yoga. So where Bhagavan Krishna describes 2 sets of values or mental traits, qualities like truthfulness, compassion, humility, which bring us closer to the divine. There are a total of 18 values that Bhagavan speaks in just about 3 verses. And then he talks about 18 demonical values or qualities like pride and ahankara, arrogance, anger, which bind us to this ego and suffering. And Bhagavan gives 18 verses. Now you might wonder why he's given 18 verses for this and 3 for that. That's because Bhagavan knows very well the human tendency of sliding easily to the wrong side rather than the right side. So that's why Bhagavan spends a lot more time on the demonical values or the qualities. Moving on to chapter 17, which is Shraddhatraya Vibhaga Yoga, where Bhagavan dives deeper into the role of faith and human nature. He analyzes the influence of the 3 gunas or qualities, which is the sattva, which is the goodness, the rajas, which is passion and the drive, and the tamas, which is the ignorance or laziness, on every aspect of our lives. And he goes through many aspects. Some of them are, like the objects of worship, the food we eat, the yajna, tapas, and dana that we all should be doing. And again, he analyzes, using these 3 yardsticks of sattva, rajas, and tamas. And the message is very clear, that we should focus and strengthen the sattva, the faith, the shraddha, which leads to clarity, compassion, and harmony with our higher nature, the Atma. In essence, these 2 chapters guide us to examine and nurture qualities and the faith that will elevate us spiritually and helping us live in alignment with the nature, alignment with our higher self, the Atma. Now, I shall stop at this juncture with this quick introduction and not wanting to steal the thunder from our distinguished speaker, Sri Dr. Anandaji, on these 2 chapters. Again, thanks once again to the Gita Jayanti organizing committee for doing such a dedicated service to keep this core text of Sanatana Dharma alive and kicking in Singapore. Thanks to all of you for joining the session today. Hari Om. Back to you, Krishna Kumarji.
Thank you so much, Karthik, for those beautiful words. And I really like the idea of cleaning up the plate before eating. So very nice. So aligning basically to align our nature to to meet that of the Atma, our real nature, to clean out all the unnecessary stuff. So that is the whole idea of these two chapters. I think before we close, Dakshin Bharat Brahmana Sabha is also organizing, I think, some very major event, Tirudra, right? So I'll use this opportunity to welcome everybody to the Tirudra.
Oh, thank you very much, Krishna Kumarji. Yes, we are having the Atirudram, which is Sabha is celebrating its 100th year this year, and as part of that, we are having the Atirudram from December 21 to 26 at PGP Hall. So we request all of you to come and get the blessings of Lord Shiva and participate in this. Normally Atirudram is, people, it's a rarity. Even in India, it's a rarity. So it's happening in Singapore. So I request and persuade all of you to come and join this wonderful event.
Just to add one thing, the timing will be morning 6 to 1 o'clock every day.
Oh, so, for the Atirudram, is it?
Yeah, Atirudram, all these days. Okay. So evening there will be some other small short programs, but the main chanting will be happening between I should say about 7 to 1 or 8 to 1.
8 to 1. Okay.
Yeah. Even if you are not able to chant the Rudram, listening itself, Shravanam brings a lot of benefit. So you can do the Shravanam, and to circumambulate, do Pradakshina for all those Ritviks, over 150 Ritviks at one place, and offer your Namaskara is a rare opportunity in Singapore.
Has it ever been done, the Atirudram in Singapore? Any idea?
The first was done in 2019 by the Brahmana Sabha in association with Sri Shivan Temple. And we did it also again on the same format during Chinese New Year, 2019.
So this is the third time.
Second time.
So the second time. This is
second time. That was a combination of, if I permit me, I'll add one more thing. That was a combination between Agama and Vaidika, but this time it will be totally Vaidika.
Vaidika, that's correct.
Totally, absolutely.
Totally Vaidika, yes.
Vaidika procedure. Okay, so we are indeed blessed to have Atirudram in such a short span in 4 years' time, thanks to Brahmana Sabha celebrating 100 years.
Yeah. Thank you,
Thank
everybody.
you, Krishna Kumarji, for bringing that up. Really appreciate it.
Because really I wanted to, because such a holy and such auspicious event is going to happen, and you are there now today as the guest of honor. So I thought we'll give this as the intro to everybody. Advance notice.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And so now we will get back to our normal procedures. Let me start sharing the screen again. So thank you to Karthik ji once again for your beautiful words, which summarize the essence of chapter 16 and 17. And now we move over to the Gita Dhyanam, basically the invocation of the Bhagavad Gita itself through 9 verses, which are very famous verses, and this will be done by Padmini ji.
Paramatmane Namaha. अथ श्रीमद्भगवद्गीता ध्यानम् ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीं नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे उल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजना गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलम् गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटम् नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितम् लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसि न श्रेयसे मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवम् यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः.
Hari Om. Thank you so much, Padmini, for that beautiful chanting of Gita Dhyanam. So now we get to the actual Gita Parayana itself. So today we'll be covering, as explained earlier, chapter 16, 24 verses, and chapter 17, 28 verses altogether. 52 verses will be covered today, and as normally we've been doing so far, every verse that is shown on the screen will also have its meaning from very different commentators of the Gita, great commentators of the Gita, to give a wide perspective of the whole idea and the thought processes of different traditions of interpreting the Gita. So basically, you can also follow the text as well as the meanings, because as we say, Shravanam, Mananam, and Nididhyasam, and understanding the meaning is a very important part of especially learning Bhagavad Gita. So we start in proper, and starting with Veenaji will be the first lead chanter. It will be repeated by Padmini, and it will be go on a repetition fashion as usual. So over to Veenaji and Padmini.
Om Shri Paramatmane Namaha. अथ षोडशोऽध्यायः दैवासुरसम्पद्विभागयोगः श्रीभगवानुवाच अभयं सत्त्वसंशुद्धिः ज्ञानयोगव्यवस्थितिः दानन्दमश्च यज्ञश्च स्वाध्यायस्तपार्जवम्.
श्रीभगवानुवाच अभयं सत्त्वसंशुद्धिः ज्ञानयोगव्यवस्थितिः दानन्दमश्च यज्ञश्च स्वाध्यायस्तपार्जवम्.
अहिंसा सत्यमक्रोधः त्यागः शान्तिरपैशुनम् दया भूतेष्वलो लुप्त्वम् मार्दवौरीरचापलम्.
अहिंसा सत्यमक्रोधः त्यागः शान्तिरपैशुनम् दया भूतेष्वलो लुप्त्वम् मार्दवं ह्रीरचापलम्.
तेजः क्षमा धृतिः शौचम् अद्रोहो नातिमानिता भवन्ति सम्पदन् दैवीम् अभिजातस्य भारत.
तेजः क्षमा धृतिः शौचम् अद्रोहो नातिमानिता भवन्ति सम्पदन् दैवीम् अभिजातस्य भारत.
दम्भो दर्पोऽभिमानश्च क्रोधः पारुष्यमेव च अज्ञानं चाभिजातस्य पार्थ सम्पदमासुरीम्.
दम्भो दर्पोऽभिमानश्च क्रोधः पारुष्यमेव च अज्ञानञ्चाभिजातस्य पार्थसम्पदमासुरीम्
दैवी सम्पद्विमोक्षाय निबन्धायासुरीमता मा शुचः सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातोऽसि पाण्डव
दैवी सम्पद्विमोक्षाय निबन्धायासुरीमता माशु च सम्पदं दैवीम् अभिजातोऽसि पाण्डव
द्वौ भूतसर्गौ लोकेऽस्मिन् दैव आसुर एव च दैवो विस्तरशः प्रोक्तः आसुरं पार्थ मे शृणु
द्वौ भूतसर्गौ लोकेऽस्मिन् दैव आसुर एव च दैवो विस्तरशः प्रोक्तः आसुरं पार्थ मे शृणु
प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च जनान विदुरासुराः न शौचन्नापि चाचारः न सत्यं तेषु विद्यते
प्रवृत्तिं च निवृत्तिं च जनान विदुरासुराः न शौचन्नापि चाचारः न सत्यं तेषु विद्यते
असत्यमप्रतिष्ठन्ते जगदाहुरनीश्वरम् अपरस्परसम्भूतं किमन्यत् कामहैतुकम्
असत्यमप्रतिष्ठन्ते जगदाहुरनीश्वरम् अपरस्परसम्भूतं किमन्यत् कामहैतुकम्
एतान् दृष्टिमवष्टभ्य नष्टात्मानोऽल्पबुद्धयः प्रभवन्त्युग्रकर्माणः क्षयाय जगतो हिताः
एतान् दृष्टिमवष्टभ्य नष्टात्मानोऽल्पबुद्धयः प्रभवन्त्युग्रकर्माणः क्षयाय जगतो हिताः काममाश्रित्य दुष्पूरं दम्भमानमदान्विताः मोहात् गृहीत्वा सद्ग्राहान् प्रवर्तन्ते शुचिव्रताः
काममाश्रित्य दुष्पूरम् दम्भमानमतान्विताः मोहात् गृहीत्वा सद्ग्राहान् प्रवर्तन्ते शुचिव्रताः
चिन्तामपरिमेयाञ्च प्रलयान्तामुपाश्रिताः कामोपभोगपरमाः एतावदिति निश्चिताः
चिन्तामपरिमेयां च प्रलयान्तामुपाश्रिताः कामोपभोगपरमाः एतावदिति निश्चिताः
आशापाशशतैर्बद्धाः कामक्रोधपरायणाः ईहन्ते कामभोगार्थम् अन्यायेनार्थसञ्चयान्
आशापाशशतैर्बन्धाः कामक्रोधपरायणाः ईहन्ते कामभोगार्थम् अन्यायेन अर्थसञ्चयान्
इदमद्य मया लब्धम् इमं प्राप्स्ये मनोरथम् इदमस्तीदमपि मे भविष्यति पुनर्धनम्
इदमद्य मया लब्धम् इमं प्राप्स्ये मनोरथम् इदमस्तीदमपि मे भविष्यति पुनर्धनम्
असौ मया हतः शत्रुः हनिष्ये चापरानपि ईश्वरोऽहमहं भोगी सिद्धोऽहं बलवान् सुखी
असौ मया हतः शत्रुः हनिष्ये चापरानपि ईश्वरोऽहमहं भोगी सिद्धोऽहं बलवान् सुखी
आढ्योऽभिजनवानस्मि कोऽन्योऽस्ति सदृशो मया यक्ष्ये दास्यामि मोदिष्ये इत्यज्ञानविमोहिताः
आढ्योऽभिजनवानस्मि कोऽन्योऽस्ति सदृशो मया यक्ष्ये दास्यामि मोदिष्ये इत्यज्ञानविमोहिताः
अनेकचित्तविभ्रान्ताः मोहजालसमावृताः प्रसक्ताः कामभोगेषु पतन्ति नरकेषु च
अनेकचित्तविभ्रान्ताः मोहजालसमावृताः प्रसक्ताः कामभोगेषु पतन्ति नरकेषु च
आत्मसम्भाविताः स्तब्धाः धनमानमदान्विताः यजन्ते नाम यज्ञैस्ते दम्भेनाविधिपूर्वकम्
आत्मसम्भाविताः स्तब्धाः धनमानमतान्विताः यजन्ते नाम यज्ञैस्ते दम्भेनाविधिपूर्वकम्
अहङ्कारं बलं दर्पं कामं क्रोधं च संश्रिताः मामात्मपरदेहेषु प्रद्विषन्त्योऽभ्यसूयकाः
अहङ्कारं बलं दर्पं कामं क्रोधं च संश्रिताः मामात्मपरदेहेषु प्रद्विषन्तोऽभ्यसूयकाः तानहं द्विषदः क्रूरान् संसारेषु नराधमान् क्षिपाम्यजस्रमशुभान् आसुरेष्वेव योनिषु
तानहं द्विषतः क्रूरान् संसारेषु नराधमान् क्षिपाम्यजस्रमशुभान् आसुरीष्वेव योनिषु
आसुरीं योनिमापन्नाः मूढा जन्मनि जन्मनि मामप्राप्यैव कौन्तेय ततो यान्त्यधमां गतिम्
आसुरीं योनिमापन्नाः मूढा जन्मनि जन्मनि मामप्राप्यैव कौन्तेय ततो यान्त्यधमां गतिम्
त्रिविधं नरकस्येदं द्वारं नाशनमात्मनः कामः क्रोधस्तथा लोभः तस्मात् एतत्त्रयं त्यजेत्
त्रिविधं नरकस्येदं द्वारन्नाशनमात्मनः कामः क्रोधस्तथा लोभः तस्मादेतत्त्रयं त्यजेत्
एतैर्विमुक्तः कौन्तेय तमोद्वारैस्त्रिभिर्नरः आचरन्त्यात्मनः श्रेयः ततो याति परां गतिम्
एतैर्विमुक्तः कौन्तेय तमोद्वारैस्त्रिभिर्नरः आचरत्यात्मनः श्रेयः ततो याति परां गतिम्
यः शास्त्रविधिमुत्सृज्य वर्तते कामकारतः न स सिद्धिमवाप्नोति न सुखं न परां गतिम्
यः शास्त्रविधिमुत्सृज्य वर्तते कामकारतः न स सिद्धिमवाप्नोति न सुखं न परां गतिम्
तस्मात् शास्त्रं प्रमाणं ते कार्याकार्यव्यवस्थितौ ज्ञात्वा शास्त्रविधानोक्तं कर्म कर्तुमिहार्हसि
तस्मात् शास्त्रं प्रमाणन्ते कार्याकार्यव्यवस्थितौ ज्ञात्वा शास्त्रविधानोक्तं कर्म कर्तुमिहार्हसि
ॐ तत्सत् इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे दैवासुरसम्पद्विभागयोगो नाम षोडशोऽध्यायः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्तं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्।
Continue, Sunuji, you can continue.
Some more?
Correct, 1 and 2. 1 and 2 of 70.
No, 1924, 117, 1 and 2.
Yes, correct.
Sure. अधः सप्तदशोऽध्यायः श्रद्धात्रयविभागयोगः। अर्जुन उवाच ये शास्त्रविधिमुत्सृज्य यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेषां निष्ठा तु का कृष्ण सत्त्वमाहो रजस्तमः।
अर्जुन उवाच ये शास्त्रविधिमुत्सृज्य यजन्ते श्रद्धयान्विताः तेषां निष्ठा तु का कृष्ण सत्त्वमाहो रजस्तमः।
श्रीभगवानुवाच त्रिविधा भवति श्रद्धा देहिनां सा स्वभावजा सात्विकी राजसी चैव तामसी चेति तां शृणु।
श्रीभगवानुवाच त्रिविधा भवति श्रद्धा देहिनां सा स्वभावजा सात्विकी राजसी चैव तामसी चेति तां शृणु। सत्त्वानुरूपा सर्वस्य श्रद्धा भवति भारत श्रद्धामयोऽयं पुरुषः यो यच्छ्रद्धः स एव सः।
सत्त्वानुरूपा सर्वस्य श्रद्धा भवति भारत श्रद्धामयोऽयं पुरुषः यो यच्छ्रद्धः स एव सः।
यजन्ते सात्विका देवान् यक्षरक्षांसि राजसाः प्रेतान् भूतगणांश्चान्ये यजन्ते तामसा जनाः।
यजन्ते सात्विका देवान् यक्षरक्षांसि राजसाः प्रेतान् भूतगणांश्चान्ये यजन्ते तामसा जनाः।
अशास्त्रविहितं घोरं तप्यन्ते ये तपो जनाः दम्भाहंकारसंयुक्ताः कामरागबलान्विताः।
अशास्त्रविहितं घोरं तप्यन्ते ये तपो जनाः दम्भाहंकारसंयुक्ताः कामरागबलान्विताः।
कर्षयन्तः शरीरस्थं भूतग्राममचेतसः मां चैवान्तः शरीरस्थं तान् विद्यासुरनिश्चयान्।
कर्षयन्तः शरीरस्थं भूतग्राममचेतसः मां चैवान्तः शरीरस्थं तान् विद्यासुरनिश्चयान्।
आहारस्त्वपि सर्वस्य त्रिविधो भवति प्रियः यज्ञस्तपस्तथा दानं तेषां भेदमिमं शृणु।
आहारस्त्वपि सर्वस्य त्रिविधो भवति प्रियः यज्ञस्तपस्तथा दानं तेषां भेदमिमं शृणु।
आयुः सत्त्वबलारोग्यसुखप्रीतिविवर्धनाः रस्याः स्निग्धा स्थिरा हृद्याः आहाराः सात्विकप्रियाः
आयुः सत्त्वबलारोग्य सुखप्रीतिविवर्धनाः रस्या स्निग्धा स्थिरा हृद्याः आहाराः सात्विकप्रियाः
कट्वं ललवणात्युष्णतीक्ष्णरोक्षविदाहिनः आहारा राजसस्येष्टाः दुःखशोकमयप्रदाः
कट्वं ललवणात्युष्णस्तीक्ष्णरूक्षविदाहिनः आहारा राजसस्येष्टाः दुःखशोकामयप्रदाः
यातयामङ्गतरसं पूतिपर्युषितं च यत् उच्छिष्टमपि चामेध्यं भोजनं तामसप्रियम्
यातयामङ्गतरसं पूतिपर्युषितं च यत् उच्छिष्टमपि चामेध्यं भोजनं तामसप्रियम्
अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञः विधिदृष्टो य युज्यते यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः समाधाय स सात्विकः
अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्यज्ञः विधिदृष्टो य युज्यते यष्टव्यमेवेति मनः समाधाय स सात्विकः अभिसन्धाय तु फलं दम्भार्थमपि चैव यत् युज्यते भरतश्रेष्ठ तञ्यज्ञो विद्धि राजसम्
अभिसन्धाय तु फलं दम्भार्थमपि चैव यत् युज्यते भरतश्रेष्ठ तञ्यज्ञो विद्धि राजसम्
विधिहीनमसृष्टान्नं मन्त्रहीनमदक्षिणं श्रद्धाविरहितं यज्ञं तामसं परिचक्षते
विधिहीनमसृष्टान्नं मन्त्रहीनमदक्षिणं श्रद्धाविरहितं यज्ञं तामसं परिचक्षते
देवद्विजगुरुप्राज्ञपूजनौ शौचमार्जवम् ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा च शारीरं तप उच्यते
देवद्विजगुरुप्राज्ञपूजनौ शौचमार्जवम् ब्रह्मचर्यमहिंसा च शारीरं तप उच्यते
अनुद्वेगकरं वाक्यं सत्यं प्रियहितं च यत् स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव वाङ्मयं तप उच्यते
अनुद्वेगकरं वाक्यं सत्यं प्रियहितं च यत् स्वाध्यायाभ्यसनं चैव वाङ्मयं तप उच्यते
मनः प्रसादः सौम्यत्वं मौनमात्मविनिग्रहः भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत् तपोमानसमुच्यते
मनः प्रसादः सौम्यत्वं मौनमात्मविनिग्रहः भावसंशुद्धिरित्येतत् तपोमानसमुच्यते
श्रद्धया परया तप्तं तपस्तत्त्रिविधन्नरैः अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्युक्तैः सात्विकं परिचक्षते
श्रद्धया परया तप्तं तपस्तत्त्रिविधन्नरैः अफलाकाङ्क्षिभिर्युक्तैः सात्विकं परिचक्षते
सत्कारमानपूजार्थं तपोदम्भेन चैव यत् क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तं राजसञ्चलमध्रुवम्
सत्कारमानपूजार्थं तपोदम्भेन चैव यत् क्रियते तदिह प्रोक्तं राजसञ्चलमध्रुवम्
मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत् पीडया क्रियते तपः परस्योत्सादनार्थं वा तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्
मूढग्राहेणात्मनो यत् पीडया क्रियते तपः परस्योत्सादनार्थं वा तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्
दातव्यमिति यद्दानम् दीयतेनुपकारिणे देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम्
दातव्यमिति यद्दानं दीयतेनुपकारिणे देशे काले च पात्रे च तद्दानं सात्विकं स्मृतम् यत्तु प्रत्युपकारार्थं फलमुद्दिश्य वा पुनः दीयते च परिक्लिष्टं तद्दानं राजसंस्मृतम्
यत्तु प्रत्युपकारार्थं फलमुद्दिश्य वा पुनः दीयते च परिक्लिष्टं तद्दानं राजसंस्मृतम्
अदेशकाले यद्दानम् अपात्रेभ्यश्च दीयते असत्कृतमवज्ञातं तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्
अदेशकाले यद्दानम् अपात्रेभ्यश्च दीयते असत्कृतमवज्ञातं तत्तामसमुदाहृतम्
ॐ तत्सदिति निर्देशः ब्रह्मणस्त्रिविधः स्मृतः ब्राह्मणास्तेन वेदाश्च यज्ञाश्च विहिताः पुरा
ॐ तत्सदिति निर्देशः ब्रह्मणस्त्रिविधः स्मृतः ब्राह्मणास्तेन वेदाश्च यज्ञाश्च विहिताः पुरा
तस्मादोमित्युदाहृत्य यज्ञदानतपः क्रियाः प्रवर्तन्ते विधानोक्ताः सततं ब्रह्मवादिनाम्
तस्मादोमित्युदाहृत्य यज्ञदानतपः क्रियाः प्रवर्तन्ते विधानोक्ताः सततं ब्रह्मवादिनम्
तदित्यनभिसन्धाय फलं यज्ञतपः क्रियाः दानक्रियाश्च विविधाः क्रियन्ते मोक्षकाङ्क्षिभिः
तदित्यनभिसन्धाय फलं यज्ञतपः क्रियाः दानक्रियाश्च विविधाः क्रियन्ते मोक्षकाङ्क्षिभिः
सद्भावे साधुभावे च सदित्येतत् प्रयुज्यते प्रशस्ते कर्मणि तथा सच्छब्दः पार्थयुज्यते
सद्भावे साधुभावे च सदित्येतत् प्रयुज्यते प्रशस्ते कर्मणि तथा सच्छब्दः पार्थयुज्यते
यज्ञे तपसि दाने च स्थितिः सदिति चोच्यते कर्म चैव तदर्थीयं सदित्येवाभिधीयते
यज्ञे तपसि दाने च स्थितिः सदिति चोच्यते कर्म चैव तदर्थीयम् सदित्येवाभिधीयते
अश्रद्धया हुतं दत्तं तपस्तप्तं कृतं च यत् असदित्युच्यते पार्थ न च तत् प्रेत्य नो इह
अश्रद्धया हुतं दत्तं तपस्तप्तं कृतं च यत् असदित्युच्यते पार्थ न च तत्प्रेत्य नो इह ॐ तत्सत् इति श्रीमद्भगवद्गीतासु उपनिषत्सु ब्रह्मविद्यायां योगशास्त्रे श्रीकृष्णार्जुनसंवादे श्रद्धात्रयविभागयोगो नाम सप्तदशोऽध्यायः
Can chant Vasudeva Sudam also.
वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुम्
Hari Om. Thank you so much to all the wonderful chanters. So basically, the meanings that are given in the earlier slides are from the great commentators of the Gita, from various traditions from both the Eastern as well as Western regions. So they include people like Swami Chinmayananda. The notations used are Swami Chinmayananda, Swami Dayananda Ji, Swami Gambhirananda, George Feuerstein, Swami Vireshwarananda, Ekanath Ishwaran, Dr. Radhakrishnan, Swami Rama, Ivan Maskrao, Dr. Krishnavariyar, basically from Shankaracharya's Shankara Bhashyam, Swami Mukundananda, Swami Shivananda, and Nataraj Guru. So basically, they cover a lot of different traditions as well as different ages as well as different types of inclinations towards the Gita, including academic ones like Dr. Radhakrishnan. So basically, it's intended to give a idea of how Gita can be interpreted or need to be interpreted in different ways to understand better. So now we move over to the Gita Mahatmyam. Gita Mahatmyam extols the virtues of the greatness of Gita, and this will be done by Veenaji.
ॐ अथ गीता माहात्म्यम् गीताशास्त्रमिदं पुण्यं यः पठेत् प्रयतः पुमान् विष्णो पदमवाप्नोति भयशोकादिवर्जितः गीताध्ययनशीलस्य प्राणायामपरस्य च नैव सन्ति हि पापानि पूर्वजन्मकृतानि च मलनिर्मोचनं पुंसां जलस्नानन्दिने दिने सकृद्गीताम्भसि स्नानं संसारमलनाशनम् गीता सुगीता कर्तव्या किमन्यैः शास्त्रविस्तरैः या स्वयं पद्मनाभस्य मुखपद्माद्विनिसृता भारतामृतसर्वस्वं विष्णोर्वक्त्राद्विनिसृतम् गीता गङ्गोदकं पीत्वा पुनर्जन्म न विद्यते सर्वोपनिषदो गावः दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत् एकं शास्त्रं देवकी पुत्रगीतम् एको देवो देवकी पुत्र एव एको मन्त्रस्तस्य नामानि यानि कर्माप्येकं तस्य देवस्य सेवा.
Wonderful, beautifully chanted. Thank you so much, Veena-ji, for the wonderful chanting of Gita Mahatmya. So now, before we proceed to the next segment, let me highlight, spotlight all of the lead chanters. We have Veena-ji as the lead chanter. So let me spotlight Veena-ji here. This Veena-ji, who's the first chanter here. Now let me have Sunilji is here. I think some people have left, I think. So this Sunilji, Hari Om Sunilji.
You.
We have Rajita ji here. Hari Om Rajita ji. Then we have Sri Hari ji here. Sri Hari ji. Sri Hari ji, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
We have Sindhu ji here. Sindhu ji, Hari Om.
Hari Om.
I think Padmini ji, are you? Can you enable a video? I think she's not. She was saying that she had to leave early, so maybe she's not available. Okay, thank you so much again, once again, to all the lead chanters. So now we will get into the next segment of today's proceedings. So next segment is basically the talk for the session by Dr. Sri Anandaji, basically the resident Acharya, the teacher of the Chinmaya Seva Center. And he's also has been a part of Gita Jayanti for celebrations for the past so many years. So let me give a brief introduction to Dr. Anandaji before he commences his talk. Blessed with the good fortune of meeting Pujya Gurudev Swami Chinmayanandaji and having nurtured an association with Chinmaya Mission for almost 3 decades. He's a highly respected trustee of the Chinmaya Seva Center in Singapore, and he was basically a professor of computer science at the local University of Singapore for many years, and a devoted family man. He is applauded by all for having recently completed a fairly recent, a few years ago, I think, 2-year residential Vedanta course at Sandipani Sadhanalaya at Mumbai under the tutelage of Pujya Swamiji Tejomananji and Pujya Swami Bodhatmanandaji. He has learned, having walked through every stage of life with commitment, assimilating, imbibing, and teaching the knowledge of these scriptures alongside, and now fully dedicating his life, as well as his wife's life, to furthering the vision of the study of our scriptures as well as Swadhyaya, and enabling many people to understand our scriptures in a deeper and a more beautiful manner. So this is our Dr. Anandaji in brief. I hope I've done justice to him. I don't think we can do justice to the amount of work he has done. But anyway, this is brief words. He himself didn't want us to speak too much about him. That is his humility. Thank you so much. And now, what to Dr. Anandaji, please. I will spotlight Anandaji.
Hari Om. Hari Om, Krishna Kumarji. I gave you only 2 sentences to talk, and you talk more than what I gave. Anyway, Hari Om to all of you. Before I start, I would like to express my sincere thanks to Gita Jayanti Committee and this year's lead organization, Sri Krishna Temple Singapore, for giving this opportunity to talk about Bhagavad Gita. Thank you all. Like our hero, Arjuna, we are fighting a war within. When all the time facing the challenges of life, to do, not to do, two differently. Only 3 challenges we have. To do, not to do, do differently. Arjuna had 2 confusions to begin with because of the challenges that was posed to him, which the Lord tried to address. First was a philosophical confusion. Who am I? Lord banged. Lord started Gita teaching only from the 11th verse of the 2nd chapter. 16th verse, he said, Nasato vidyate bhava na bhavo. Arey, you are, Arjuna, unnecessary wording. The unreal has no existence. There is no non-existence for the real. Arjuna could not get any of these things. So he continued asking questions after questions. Lord finally said, Atma and Anatma are different through Viveka. Through the whole thing he has said this, Atma and Anatma are different. Use your Viveka to discriminate. So this was finally resolved in chapter 9. Until then, he continued with this doubt. The second confusion was ethical confusion. Am I right to kill my own teacher, my own great-grandsire? Then Lord said, understand anatma, the body, etc. All is only a superimposition anatma. If you think we are the doer, understand Arjuna, you are nimitta matra bhavasavya sachi in the 11th chapter. So by end of 11th chapter, Arjuna's both confusions got resolved. The question is, Arjuna saw the oneness in the Vishwarupa. Why we cannot see that oneness? Remember, Arjuna also, like all of us, has raga and dvesha. Because Duryodhana has to be killed, Kauravas have to be defeated. So all this was there in his mind. But Lord removed all his impurities of the mind. How did he remove? He granted the Divya Chakshu. Divya Chakshu he granted. What is the Divya Chakshu? A 3D goggle or what he gave? No. What impurities do have? He removed that. We have the impurities like the Divya Chakshu is nothing but impurities. He removed Arjuna's impurities from the mind, so his mind was pure to see that Vishwarupa Darshan, Vishwarupa of the Lord. We too have, dictated by Sattva, Rajat and Tamas, which dictate our texture of our mind. This was explained in chapter 14. That is why we have varieties. Basically, we have Vedas, differences because of the Sattva, Rajat, Tamas. The Vedas in beings, we look at others in a different way. Animals are different in nature, plants are different, vegetables. You look at a whole creation, is differences are there because of Sattva, Rajat, Tamas. The essential teaching of Bhagavad Gita was completed with the 14th chapter, and its essence was very well summarized in the 15th chapter. Bhagavan said at the end of the 15th chapter, Iti gu yatamam shastram idamuktam mayanaga etad buddhva buddhimansa kritakritasya bharat. Iti. When we say iti in our Vedanta scriptures, iti means the end. So everything is ended. What is ended? Guhyatamam shastram. The greatest secret of what the Vedanta Shastra is trying to convey, I've conveyed, Arjuna. There's nothing more to talk about. Vedanta Shastra, that's why Om Tassa Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishadsu Brahma Vidyayam. This is the Brahma Vidya, highest knowledge. What Upanishads convey, I've conveyed. What is meant by Shastra? Itigu yatamam Shastram. Shastra means that covers a subject in totality. Sangeeta Shastra means I know how to put tala and become a Sangeeta Shastri. No. Or similarly, Natya Shastra, Artha Shastra, not one aspect. Everything had to be covered, totality. So, Lord is telling Arjuna, I did not give a part knowledge, a little bit knowledge. I gave you total knowledge. What is the total knowledge? Jiva, Jagat, and Ishvara are only one. The one supreme reality has appearing as all these three. Jiva, Jagat, and Ishvara. So, essentially, he taught him what Upanishads Mahavakya is talking about, Tattvam Asi. Karthik ji has said in the beginning itself of introduction, Tattvam Asi. Okay. Knowing which you are liberated. Liberated from what? liberated from all your bondage to your own thoughts. That is called samsara. That is, samsara is nothing but ahankara, my ego. You are liberated from that. Free from all shoka, moha, bhaya. You are liberated from that. What is samsara? To say samsara, that is all our problems, is an illusion. Like snake on a rope is an illusion. Bhagavan has used the metaphor of an uprooted imaginary tree of a sacred Ashwatha tree whose beginning or end we cannot trace samsara. He said this in the 15th chapter. Why I am coming to 15th? Sorry, your topic is 16th and 17th. Correct, I know that 16th and 17th, but Srinivasanji said talk for 5 minutes about cover aspects of 15th chapter also. So I am taking
Basically,
up little bit of 15th chapter.
Yeah,
Okay?
actually, last session, we could not discuss
Yes,
15th
that's
chapter.
why he asked me. So I'm
that's
taking a
why.
bit of that. So in Urdhva Moola Madashakam Ashwattham Prahuroya. So he started with that. That means Vyasji bodily lifted from Kathopanishad verse and plugged in the 15th chapter, Ashwatthata. Not only Kathopanishad, tree is used in a Vedanta, Mundaka Upanishad, Dvasuparna, Sayuja, all these things are coming. Tree is a very important aspect because samsara, tree is one vriksha, one huge vriksha, and its vastness is great, vast. Like Ashwatthata tree is very vast, this also is very vast. A birds on the trees jump up and down from one branch to another branch to enjoy the fruits. Like that, jivas want to go to higher lokas or to other lokas to enjoy. Pujya Swami Chinmayananji used to say that like we jump from Singapore or India to US to enjoy better pleasure. Another loka. Loka means realm of experience. Not knowing all are temporary pleasures. It is a mystery tree, Ashwatha tree. Root is not known. But some secondary roots, vasanas are there. The desires are there. The effect is available. Effect is observable. We are experiencing the effect. But the cause is not known. It shows that the creation is there. Creation is not there really. Real creation is not there. It's all imaginary. That's why it's an imaginary tree, uprooted tree. How can it be uprooted? Similarly, the nature of this universe is not comprehensible. It is mithya in Vedantic terminology. Definitely root is there. That is satya. That is truth. To cut this vicious, terrible, uncontrollable, unpredictable samsara tree, use an axe of jnana sharpened by viveka and vairagya. For this, one has to develop certain qualities. Nirmana moha, jita sanga dosha, adhyatmika. All those things are discussed in the 5th verse. If we are seeking something, we should know its nature. In the 6th verse of the 15th chapter, we should know the nature. Brahman is the very subject. It is never an object of knowledge. So he gave the example of neither the sun, moon, nor fire can illuminate. Sun can illumine here this object, but they cannot illumine. That's why we chant the Arti, right? Natatra Suryo Bhati Nachandra Taraka. Same. There is no world other than Brahman. Brahman is the only substance. Brahman alone is Jiva. Because what was he wanted to explain? Jiva, Jagat and Ishvara are not different. They're all same. Brahman alone is Jiva. Who are we then? We are all misguided Brahman only. Gurudev's words is misguided Brahman. He talked about this Jiva is Brahman from 7th verse to 11th verse. See, for example, is there a substance called pot? Is there a pot? No. Vedanta says no. You can go to a shop and see pot, spoons, pot, plates, and jug and mug and all. They're all different identities. But Vedantin goes and says all clay. Nothing but clay. Right? There's no substance called pot. Similarly, Jiva appears seemingly different from that Brahman, Purusha, because of the condition. Mamaivamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatana, he said. Example, this my room space is same as the total space. Your room space is also same as the total space, but appears to be different because of the four walls condition. Paramatma alone resides in every one of us as Jivatma. Paramatma is not different from Jivatma. Next, from 12th to 15th verse, he talked about Brahman as Jagat. Glories of Bhagavan is talked about. Lord says, the brilliance expressing through the sun, the moon, and the fire is all my brilliance. Adi Daivika is me. He is not only here, he talked earlier also in the 7th chapter also. Balam Balavatam, all the strength in the strong, intelligence in the intelligent, all are me only. He has said in the 7th earlier also. He says, permeating the earth, I support the amazing variety of beautiful plants, herbs, animals, human beings. Adi Bhautika is also me. Adi Daivika, sun and all, Adi Bhautika is also me. I am the Vaishwanara Agni in you. Digesting is that. Adhyatmika is also me. Bhagavan beautifully concluded the 15th verse that everything is him. That is Sarvatma Bhava. Sarvatma Bhava was expressed in the Sarvasya Chaham Hrudi Sannivishta. That's 15th verse of the 15th chapter. He said that everything is me. Then who is this Brahman? 16th to 20th verse. Who is this Brahman? Lord says in these verses, consciousness alone is my nature. That we are. Tattvamasi, we are that. Each one of us must claim our nature. We are not misguided Brahman. We are Brahman. We are not the actor wearing the mask in a drama. Remove the mask and see you are the original. Uttama Purusha you are. Purushottama. Nirguna Chaitanya. You are that. I am that. Tattvamasi was said, but what should I understand? Aham Brahmasmi. Yes, yes, I am that Brahman. Teacher said Tattvamasi. What I should understand? Aham Brahmasmi. To claim this, we need medium, because this consciousness doesn't express without a medium. Has to function through a medium. Same thing was said in Kshetra Kshetrajna also. We have to feel his presence in all the thoughts, deeds, experiences. He alone is. He is the support of all. But we get, alas, we forget it. We forget it. We attach to the medium, conditionings, just like body, mind, intellect, and all the conditionings we attach. Forget about it. When we see something, consciousness alone is enabling us to see. But we forget, I am seeing. Oh, I am doing. I am walking. Who is behind that? If your electric bulb says, I am giving light, is laughable. We laugh because without electricity, you can't give light. But we claim that. That is ahankara. One who is beyond both manifested and unmanifested, Kshara Purusha, Akshara Purusha, is Uttama Purusha. Whatever manifested, Vyakta, Vyakta, beyond that is the Purusha Uttama. In all Upanishads, this consciousness principle is called Paramatma. Endowed with this wisdom, by transforming knowledge to wisdom, one becomes a wise person. Then all his duties, Shoka, Moha, Bhaya, all come to an end. Not the problems will not end. But he knows that he is not that. Bhagavad Gita is not going to solve your daily problems. Our day is going to give the right knowledge that you are not the problem is for the body, problem is of mind. You are not that. So by this only we realize our Purnatva. We are fulfilled entity. All the time you are, but somehow misguided. So we think. So Vedanta Shastra, comprising Upanishads, Prakarana Granthas, Bhagavad Gita, etc., all convey the same essential teaching, Tattvamasi. We have to abide in this self-knowledge in our daily life and live through it. This is the most difficult part, right? In our daily transaction, how many times we get the idea, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya comes to our mind? Tell me, how many transactions we do outside? Brahma Satya Jagan Mithya comes to our mind? Definitely not. Why not? Because like any other knowledge, this knowledge is sitting in one corner of our buddhi. What is the problem? It is the lack of qualifications. It is hindering many to abide in the self-knowledge. These qualifications are presented in the beginning of Vedantic study as sadhana chatushtaya sampatti, viveka vairagya shad sampatti mumukshutva. If you look at the introductory text like Tattvabodha, Viveka Chudamani, Aparokshana Bhuti, they're all in the beginning, all sadhana chatushtaya. But is it the case in Bhagavad Gita? Karthik ji also said some people start from 16th and 17th chapter. Yes, that is true. Because is it the case in Bhagavad Gita? As I said, Lord started in the very beginning. As I said, Nasato vidyate bhava. Very beginning. Najayate mruyate vakada. Everything is started in the beginning. Arjuna was already disconnected from his mind and intellect. How can he understand all this? He was already in the slumber. To talk about sadhana chatushtaya to begin with, it is not possible for Krishna. So gave the Brahma Vidya or Atma Jnana in the beginning itself to Arjuna. And elaborated it until the 15th chapter, Tattvamasi is over. Lord gave the solution first. Just like us, we want solution to our samsara problems first. That's why we take up Bhagavad Gita. Then slowly we develop sadhana chatushtaya, qualifications. If you go to any Gurukula, we don't study first year, no Bhagavad Gita. First year is Upanishads, Prakarana Granthas and other things are studied. Then only after some Upanishads, then only Bhagavad Gita is taken. Om Tasasati Srimad Bhagavad Gita so Upanishads. Without studying Upanishads, how do you know the gist? What is being talked in Bhagavad? But we don't have time for all this. So we study Bhagavad Gita without knowing Upanishads. The last 3 chapters, 16, 17, 18, is just like an appendix. In chapter 16 and 17, Lord has presented the sadhana chatushtaya alone as values. Much easier to understand and relate to our lives. Deals with ethics and morality, not on philosophy. Philosophy discussion is over already. Because a person's goal of life and a person's way of life, both of them are closely related. Person's goal of life and the way of life. And therefore, the beginning portion of the Vedas concentrate, Veda Purvabhaga, upon the way of life. The final portion of Vedas, Vedanta, concentrates on the goal of life. So the subject matter of the 16th and the 17th chapters are picked up from the Veda Purvabhaga. If you look at the Sikshavalli in Taittiriya Upanishad, when the students go, first is starting Rutam cha swadhyaya pravachane cha, Satyam cha swadhyaya pravachane cha, Tapasya swadhyaya pravachane, Damascha, Shamascha, all these things, Satyam. So all are nothing but values only. Sadhana chatushtaya only. Dama, Shama, Satyam, Tapa. Same thing is coming now. Is all in the beginning. That is Shiksha only. If the student goes to Gurukula, if he studies the Sankhya, that is the Shikshavali, the first section, and if he says enough is enough for me, I don't want to study the Vedanta part, he can graduate, he can go and be a samsari. Only a few people stay back and study so that used to be the practice. So, on the way of life a person leads is heavily determined by the character that a person possesses. Depends on sattva, rajas, tamas or gunas. What are these characters? Daivi, asuri and rakshasi. The threefold classification of human character. All these qualities are already spoken by Lord in the 9th chapter, 12th verse. Moga asha, moga karmana, moga jnana vichesasam, rakshasim, asurim, chaiva. Already I said. The next verse talked about Daivi. Lot of values were given. In the 13th chapter was given. In the 12th chapter also, lot of, as a bhakta, what are the bhakta as a role model, what are the qualities? 26 values were given in this one. And 13th chapter, amanitvam, adambitvam, lot of values are given already. Here in this 16th chapter, many of them are repeated now. This chapter, 16th chapter, is called Daivasura Sampat Vibhaga Yoga. 24 verses which you all chanted. They are further elaborated. One may know, who am I? But to abide in this, overcoming our mental limitations, traits, qualities are required. It is very difficult. Our mental sattva rajas tamas will not allow us to, who am I? To stay in that. In this chapter, Lord divides all mental traits into two groups, Daivi and Asuri. Daivi Sampat is all sattvic traits, virtues to be acquired, conducive for self-knowledge. Sattvic, then only then the knowledge can take place. And which is the inner, which is the Sampatti. Sadhana Chusha Sampatti is the inner wealth character. People with these values consider the spiritual knowledge as their goal. Krishna calls them Daivi Swabhava. Stands for knowledge, wisdom, brightness, and etc. Brilliance, etc. All these things are there. Asuri Sampat, on the other hand, all Rajasic and Tamasic traits. They are obstacle to spiritual pursuit, spiritual growth. These things to be given up. Asuri Swabhava, mainly attachment-oriented, materialistic people, like Charvaks. Life is meant for enjoyment, so no spiritual goal, just enjoy the life. How do you enjoy the life? Take care of the body. Take care of the body. What you require? Money. How do you get money? I have to get a good job. How do you get good job? I have to have qualifications. So all our focus, you look at the world, 98, 99%, good education, good job, money, enjoy. Spiritual, who will come? Without exception, everyone in this universe falls under one of these two categories, that is Daivi or Asuri. All seekers of knowledge must necessarily lead a spiritual sattvic life, avoiding materialistic, rajasic and tamasic tendency. Avoid, not saying that you should not fall. Avoid, less and less you should be. Daivi Sampatti is talked only in 3 verses. First 3 verses. Listed 26 virtues are enumerated in these 3 verses. These values, anybody and everybody will understand, but most do not know its value. Lack of inner maturity is not there. What are these values? I am not going to go into the detailed list of all the 26 values. I don't have 2 days or 3 days to talk about this. So I got only a few minutes to talk about it. Let us look at the one value I will take from each one of these verses and explain a bit. Verse 1, Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi, that I am not going to even chant also. Abhayam Sattva Samshuddhihi, Jnana Yoga Vyavastita. 11 values are pointed out in this. Abhayam, I will take fearlessness. That is not to be afraid. Bhaya is fear. Abhayam, fearlessness. What is the source of fear? The root cause of fear is seeing otherness. When the other party is there, other person is there, fear is develops. When we see otherness, we will have either raga or dvesha. I like or dislikes. If you have raga towards something or someone, we will do whatever we can to get or associate with that. Be it dharma or adharma. By chance, if we do adharmic way of getting a things, then fear will come. Oh. Second is attachment. Otherness, and second is attachment. Attachment is source of fear. Asakti. I have attachment, I have interest in that, attached to that, and then fear. Physically losing something because of attachment, losing something or someone, very painful. But more so mentally losing something like association or a position, power is more fear, causes fear because of losing something. Oh, I don't want to lose my power. I don't want to lose my position. When we have bhaya, it is not easy to go. What should you do? We have to have a support, great support of a fearless entity. That will be there all the time. Who else it can be? Paramatma. There are many other values are discussed. And the second one also verses starts with ahimsa, satyama, akrodaha, etc. Ahimsa, non-injury. Why do we have to follow ahimsa? Ahimsa we have to follow only for our peace of mind. I have to avoid himsa. Why we often follow himsa? No, I never follow. I never hurt anybody physically. Not physically, verbal. Speech level, ahimsa, himsa is more harmful than the physical one. We often hurt others when we ourselves are hurt. Verbally, somebody hurts me, we want to hurt back. Backbiting. Sometimes we hurt in revenge because of selfishness, to subdue others. See, no harm any being at any time by one's body, speech or mind is called ahimsa. Not harming anybody, anytime, either through kaya, vacha, manasa is called ahimsa. Not harming. Physically or through the verbal or in the mind, even thinking of that. What is the cause of himsa? Himsa is only through dvesha vritti. Intentions are more important. When you have this dvesha, not liking, disliking at all, then hatred, then this himsa will come. Ahimsa is a general value, but as every value has an exception. Non-violent methods, when the non-violent methods miserably fail, particularly mothers, young children, they do some, but that is okay to correct them. Or a surgeon, when he is using himsa, don't think that's a himsa. Okay. Last one, third verse is, I am taking the natimanita, not having self-pride. Natimanita is equivalent to our 13th chapter amanitva. Manitva. You see, ma means measure. Ma means measure. Havaman, tapaman, buddhiman, all ma is measure. Right? I measure myself. Mana, I measure myself, who great I am. There's a pride. Atimanitva, lot of pride I have. Na atimanitva, I know not having self-pride. This is a great virtue to have. Freedom from pride, freedom from superiority complex or humbleness. Even humbleness. I am the servant of the servant, but you do all other things. That's also all are come to this category one called na atimanitva. Lord Krishna enumerated the divine virtues starting from fearless, abhayam, to end with the humility, na atimanitva, humility. The army of these divine forces must be cultivated to win over the larger army of demonic qualities, forces that lie in waiting for us, ever ready to attack. Same thing. 5 Pandavas, 100 Kauravas. 5 values, good values, 100 negativities. All thoughts are there in us. One who has all these is one who has divine qualities. Bapare Bap, 26 values. I don't have even one fully. How can I have all these values? Oh my God, too many. But Lord says, virtues are all interrelated, sir. Cultivating only one of them strengthens the other. For example, Mahatma Gandhi said, laid the emphasis on non-injury, ahimsa. And all other things came. Truth came, Shraddha came, and everything came along with that. In Sadhana Panchakam, Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya gives 40 values in 5 verses, each verse having 8 values. And he gives at that, Gurudev used to say, 40 dishes are there on the table. It doesn't mean you have to eat all of them. 1 or 2 you eat, you'll have full. That's all. And you know, if you want to pull a table with 4 legs, you have to pull all the 4. You hold 1 leg and pull, other 3 legs will come. Same way, follow one value properly, others will automatically follow. Okay. Now come to Asuri Sampath. Verse 4 to verse 21 talk about Asuri Sampath. Materialistic value system, more attachments. Their life is built on falsehood, evil intentions, lies, bad behavior, cruelty. Not all the time. Even when we follow it for some time, it is Asuri one. At that time, the Kaurava in me has manifested. These Asuric values will keep a person in samsara. Lord first presents them in nutshell, okay, in the 4th verse. My problem is simplified, and also Karthik ji has talked a bit on that. So my problem is only 4th verse is, and then he elaborated Asuri Sampatti. We are all very familiar with Asuri Sampatti. Okay, so no need. But many of them are already discussed. Amanita Madam. First is he talked about in the 4th verse, Damba. Hypocrisy. Glorifying his own actions and achievements. Damba. Darpa. Pride. Darpa comes along with the money and power. Abhimanaha. More respect. I want mana. More respect from others. Superiority complex. Krodhaha. Anger. Because of power and position. Parushyam. Rudeness. Harshness. Impoliteness. All these are Asuri Sampatti. If you call it a Sampatti, you should not have it. Ajnanam. Understanding without proper viveka, without discrimination, ignorance of Dharma Shastra. How about us? Sir, these are all great. Everybody can go through this. How about us? Which category we belong? Which category we belong? Most of us are in between disposition, between Daivi and Asuri. Not that good, nor we are so bad. Okay. Let me give you a few examples. We love to be good, but do not mind being bad occasionally. We help others, perhaps reluctantly. We speak the truth when it does not hurt us. Right? One is Daivi, other is close to Asuri. We are not arrogant, but we like to hear ourselves praised. We don't mind people praising us. We believe in God, but doubt His compassion. When things are not going, we doubt His compassion, but we believe in God. So the 16th chapter is like a mirror that Bhagavan Krishna is placing in front of us. Whatever beautiful, we should add more to that beauty. Whatever ugly, make efforts, remove out from our personality. Definitely, all these values is not to measure others. Oh, he doesn't have truth. He doesn't have this. He doesn't have. You see how arrogant he is. You should not. It is only for our own development. It's important to keep one's mind calm and peaceful through practicing the divine values and avoiding all these asuric demonic qualities. Lord warns us in the verse 21 that in the 16th chapter, 21st verse, that one should avoid at any cost, even if you cannot avoid all these demonic, 3 things you should avoid, which destroys a human being and push him into painful experience. What are these? Trividam narakasyaidam dwaram. What are that? Kama krodas tatha lobaha. These 3 are naraka dwara. They are the gates to hell. Which are them? Desire, kama, lust, kama, desire to hell. Krodha, anger, desire to hell. And greed, lobha, desire to. All these are three gates to hell for our own destruction. Such a person's mind is so disturbed, no longer fit for any purushartha, not even forget about moksha purushartha, not even artha kama, he is not fit. He cannot do anything in life. An intelligent person should give up all these to be happy. If you take care, just like the other, if you take care any one of them, others also will run away. Others too will be taken care. Kama is not there, lobha, krodha also will not be there. How do you take care of them? Follow any one of the yoga. I have described all these things. Bhakti yoga, jnana, karma yoga, bhakti yoga, jnana yoga, dhyana yoga. You follow any of the methods. Okay? So that much is good enough for the 16th chapter. Now let us enter into the 17th chapter, Shraddhatre Vibhaga Yoga, the path of three types of faith, 28 verses. Chapter 16 discusses the divine qualities that we need to cultivate and demonic qualities we need to avoid. First of all, we said these are all coming from the Veda Purva Bhaga, all these things. They revolve around the knowing what is right and what is wrong, which is the dharma, which is adharma, in order to form the divine qualities. Many of them are common sense, but still our trusted means of knowledge, pramanas, will not say. Our eyes, ears and all will not say what is right, what is wrong. Our eyes will not say. If you want anything in the constitution, you have to refer to what is right or wrong. We have to follow the rules. Constitution book we should take, or anything. Road traffic book you should refer to. In the 24th verse of the 16th chapter, Lord said, Tasmat Shastram Pramanam. Tasmat Shastram Pramanam. We need scriptural guidance to follow all these things. For this, we need to have faith in Shastra as a pramana. Pramana means means of knowledge. If we study Shastra and know these rules pertaining to all actions, it is fine. But how many of us are ready to study Veda Purva Bhaga? Forget about even coming to one class in the Vedantic class. How to study Purva Bhaga and know all these rules, karma rules? No. We don't have. We don't study. Majority of us, we don't study. So, without studying, I am performing actions. Is it right or wrong? How do I know? Because I am doing with the faith. What faith you had? My elders did, my forefathers did, I am following the same. Or my wise person said, I am following it. Did I follow correctly? How do you know? I don't know, no reference to. If constitution something is there or road traffic, I can refer to the book. Here I can't read also. I can't understand. This becomes the basis of doubt for Arjuna rises in this chapter. The chapter discusses what is Shraddha, what is the faith with which you have to perform actions. What determines Shraddha? The expression of Shraddha is of threefold. According to our texture of the mind, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. Sattvic Shraddha, Rajasic Shraddha, Tamasic Shraddha. What Shraddha do I have? How do we know what Shraddha we have? Lord gives a list of things which you can check. Because Shraddha is inside. Sattva, what? Are you a Sattvic person, Rajasic person, Tamasic person? How do you know? I don't know. How do you have to look at the effect, karma you perform and then determine. Guna karma, Chaturvarnyam Maya Sustam, Guna karma vibhaga. Karma, based on karma, I can infer. So Lord first gives a look at the what you worship. Then you will know what kind of Shraddha we have. What you worship? You worship Lord Shiva? Oh, Sattvic Shraddha. You want spirits? Rajasic sadhana. You want even mata and other things and all, magic and other things? Tamasic sadhana. And the motive behind such worships? What is the altar of devotion to do that? I am standing on 1 feet for 1 month. What is the motive? To praise something. Tamasic or something. Okay. Even food has an influence on our mind. You know that? Food. He has talked about food. Tamasic, Shraddha, Sattvic, Shamasic, and Rajasic. Let me touch upon the food a bit because that is close to us. In the Chandukya, 6th chapter, food is elaborated. The solid food, we take 3 kinds of food: solid, liquid, and then the food that creates fire in us, that is with oily food. Solid food, tamasic aspect of the solid food is thrown out as a waste. Rajasic aspect of the food makes the skin, bone, flesh. Sattvic aspect of the solid food makes the mind. You take water. Tamasic is thrown out as urine. Rajasic becomes blood. Sattvic becomes prana. Of course, water, oxygen is there, H2O is required. It's prana. Fire, ghee is required. Tamasic becomes bone. Rajasic becomes bone marrow. And the Sattvic becomes speech. That's why fire is speech, we say. Fire is speech because the people who wants to, let's say, chant Rudra, Ati Rudra, we want to chant, unless they have this fiery voice, they can't. That fire comes from the oil component. See, to the Yajna Kunda, if you add more ghee, it goes up. The same way it is. Apart from what we worship and the food, the rituals we perform, yajna, penance or austerity, charity, all these things are also of the 3 types. Okay? And have an influence on our mind. It is talked from verse 11 to verse 22 of the 17th chapter. I am going to just take, still there is time, I am going to take just one of them, tapas or austerity, which is talked between 14th verse to 19th verse. And I'm going to go through in a nutshell, because it has many important pointers for us to adapt in our daily life for happy living. Tapas, austerity, is to endure pinpricks of life, conserve our energy, do duty wholeheartedly. It gives inner strength, single-pointedness, brings all hidden potential into forefront. The tapas, austerity, is also considered using 3 instruments: body, speech, and mind. Let me highlight a few of them. Sattvic tapas. Sattvic tapas at the body level is reverence to gods, reverence to elders, straightforward and dealing. So if you have these qualities, it is sattvic tapas. That means doing service to the elders is a sattvic tapas. Is a shraddha. You have that shraddha. With speech, not being harsh, kind, truthful. These are the qualities we need to follow. Study scriptures, swadhyaya. With the mind is the sattvic tapas. With the mind, what? Being cheerful, control over what we say, wish good for others. This is sattvic tapas. What is rajasic tapas? With the body, austerity, practice for austerity. Tapas is austerity. Austerity practiced for earning honors, getting titles, fame, power, material comforts, all rajasic tapas at the body level. At the speech level, talk in haste, talking angrily, aggressively, manipulative. These are all rajasic tapas at the speech level. At the rajasic tapas at the mind level, mind is very restless, agitated mind, complaining mind, demanding mind is all rajasic tapas. Tamasic tapas at the body level, torturing the body, sleeping on a, not many of us do, bed of nails, standing on one leg. At the speech level, being mean, cruel, or sarcastic, as I said, backbiting. All these are tamasic tapas at the speech level. At the mind level, crooked, evil mind, create fear and terror in others. So like this, you can see the influence of all these sattva, rajas, tamas in all our activities. Yajna, dhana, tapa, and many others under the three categories. Not only this, in the 18th chapter, next chapter, it is discussed elaborately discussed. Each one verse is there. Bhagavan says, even if you follow procedures, human efforts are finite and our mind flawed, short of perfection. How do we fill the blanks? With whose help can we fill up all the blanks? And to complete, God is infinite, compassionate, and perfect. Remembering Him at the beginning and also at the end of all our actions will even if you don't have studied Veda Purva Bhaga, even if you have made mistakes, does not matter. His blessings remove all the whatever faults we encounter. How to remember this? Only thing is, he said in the 23rd verse, Om Tassajiti Nirdeshaha. Just you corrected by chanting Om Tassa. Why Om Tassa? It is well known in Vedas. This could be chanted as a single name or separately. Om Tat Sat Nirdesha, a triple designation for the same Paramatma. Om is the universal name of God, Brahman. Both it is indicator and indicator. Abhidhana, Abhideya. This is both indicator and indicator. Om, if you chant, at the end, what you follow after that, after stopping that, is that Brahman. Tat refers to God. We already saw in the Tat Tvamasi and all. The famous statement occurring in the Chandogya 6th chapter, Tat Tvamasi. Brahman, which is the Srishti Karana. He is that. You are remembering the Srishti Karana, the Brahman. Sat is the truth that gives existence to all. What is this? Entire thing is Brahman. How do you know? All the names and form. But what is the common substratum? Existence. I exist. Body exists. Dead body also exists. Space exists. You exist. Your house exists. Existence is the common denominator. Sat, Chit, Ananda. Chit, you may not see it. Ananda, you may not see it. But Sat is there all the time. That's it. What is the Chandogya said? Sadeva Soumya Idamagramasi. Sat Eva. Sat alone was there before anything was created. Right? Arjuna's questions start covering until it didn't end here. 18th chapter also had some questions. Shows that this knowledge, that is knowing myself, is not easy to assimilate. It requires 3 C's: consistency, commitment, and continuity. If we don't have these 3 C's, we come 1 hour a week for one satsang and go and don't worry about it. That's why the teacher has to recap a lot of things in the beginning of next class so that you know that you are not studied anything. So you come back. This is what happens. So in our spiritual pursuits, we must have this consistency, commitment, and continuity. Definitely, spirituality is not part-time. Of course, beginning, you have other things. You can do that. But eventually, it should result in full-time. Bhagavad Gita, in the 9th chapter, 14th verse, what did he say? Satatham kirtiyanto mam, bhajante mam. Satatham, you must practice, you remember me. Oh Lord, how can I remember you all the time? Please tell me. Lord says, I am the one who is coming through, as I said, already I said, through your eyes, I am the one who is giving. That's why we get to give the name Surya Bhagavan. Why? That consciousness alone is called Surya Bhagavan. This is only an instrument. This is only a upadhi. This is only a conditioning. Through that, he's coming. Through the ears, Dig Devata, you call. Through the nose, Ashwini Kumar. We give different names to the same Bhagavan because the conditionings are different. Right? You are the same person. You are a teacher, you are a manager, you are a husband, you are a daughter, son, so many things. Same person. Same way the Bhagavan, when he's functioning through all these things, he get different names. But our Hankara is so strong, we said, I am seeing it, I am hearing it, I did it, I know it. What you know? Your intellect cannot function, it's inert. It has to blessed by the Lord. So let us pray and seek is the blessings of Lord Krishna and of the entire Guru Parampara to bestow these three in our Swadhyaya for our successful spiritual quest. Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you. Hari Om.
Hari Om. Thank you so much. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Anandaji, for your wonderful speech as always. Let me try to at least capture a few of the points that you. Thank you so much. Okay, sorry, I think there is some. Okay, yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Anandaji.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. So let me try to capture some of the points that Dr. Anandaji was talking about. So basically, he started with the idea that we are always engaged in a war, and that these two chapters, essentially 16 and 17, are talking about ethics and why Arjuna could get this Vishwarupa, whereas we are not able to get it because Dr. Anandaji said that it is because Lord Krishna himself removed the factors that actually disables this vision, and that give him the Divya Chakshus to Arjuna. And 15th chapter is the end of the Gita teaching, and then 16, 17, 18 are actually some kind of an appendix to the teachings which happen between the second and the 15th chapters. So an essential the teaching is that the Jiva, Jagat, and Ishvara is basically one, which is captured by this Vedic, the Mahavakya Tattvamasi. And then we talk briefly about the 15th chapter about the Ashwadhatri, the mystery, the samsara Ashwadhatri, and how it needs to be cut with the jnana and vairagya, and why it is so complex and difficult to grasp. Its roots are all are unknown, and we are like I also quoted Swami Shimanandaji's statement that we are all misguided Brahman. Later and went on to say that it is actually Brahman itself, not misguided. And Brahman is essentially the consciousness. And why we cannot remember Brahma, Sat, and Jagan Mithya, basically because we are all missing this whole idea of sadhana chatushtaya, or the qualifications that is required, which is basically the basis for chapter 16 and 17, which actually gives and lists and gives the details on the qualifications and the sadhana chatushtaya. So the qualifications that are required. And he went on to explain why and Devi Sampat and Asuri Sampat, and basically it just took one virtue from, because there are too many virtues, it's difficult to cover the whole thing in a short time. Took the Abhaya, basically what is that fear? Fear is because it is something, is the fear of the other. It's only because the other that there's a question of fear comes, and also attachment. And Ahimsa is basically the peace of mind, and it basically consists of three parts: Manasa, Vacha, and Karmana. And basically, we should not try to harm anybody in any of these means. And Atimanita. So these are the three virtues that he took from the first three verses of chapter 16, and then went on to describe the the negative aspects, the Asuri Sampat, Asuri, the thing, and finally ending with this Kama Krotha Lobha, basically the three gateways to the hell, or Narakasyadam, Trivitham Narakasyadam Dwaram. So basically the entry to the Naraka. So that is. Yeah, and it's give a very beautiful point that how to remove these kama, krodha, and moha. Basically, even removing one will try to help the others. And how to do that is basically through the paths of the yogas, bhakti yoga and the karma yoga, jnana yoga, bhuti yoga, etc. So basically, yoga is the path to removing these three gates to the hell, kama, krodha, and moha. Then we come to the next, the 17th chapter, which is basically the Shraddha Traya Vibha Yoga. And I talked briefly about what one worships and the food and the types of, how the food impacts the body and the mind and the excretion, etc. And also the different types of tapas. And then that Om Tat Sat, and that Om itself is Abhitha and Abhideya, basically the indicator and the indicated is Om, the Om Itek Aksharam Brahma. And finally, he ended the whole talk with this very important message of consistent, the 3 C's. I think Singapore is very familiar with the 5 C's. Now here he talked about much more important 3 C's: consistency, commitment, and continuity for spiritual sadhana. So this is the most important takeaway from today, that we must actually study our scriptures as well as practice with consistency, commitment, and continuity. So this is what I hope I have captured most of the ideas that you have.
Yes, but a point I want to add is Arjuna's impurities were removed by Lord by giving a Divya Chakshu to before the Vishwarupa Darshana. But please understand, Arjuna had to get back his Raga Dvesh, otherwise he wouldn't have continued the war. So Lord gave back the impurities by removing the Divya Chakshu at the end of the 11th chapter. You should know that. Otherwise he would have gone, means he wouldn't have fought the war at all. He would have gone back. So he got back again. Then only he says Nasto Mohas Prati Labda at the end. So he has to get back his impurities back.
Anandaji, I think probably at that point in time, Arjuna was still not refined enough, because he actually makes the request saying, I'm not able to bear seeing this. So I want to get my old self back. Or he even asked Bhagavan to get back to the old self.
That is for the forum. He could not see that Vishwarupa Darshana forum, and he could not fathom that whole thing. So he he asked him to reduce this to his usual, what is that? Gada Chakra, because he started with that. He started Gada Chakra, then Vishwarupa, then he wanted to go back in the reverse order. First Gada Chakra, and then he came back to Manushya Rupa.
I mean, one way of interpreting this was, I think Arjuna at that point in time was still not mature enough to accept that the Jivatma Paramatma came and things like that. So so Bhagavan had to continue the story.
13th chapter, 15th chapter, all day still.
Correct. That's why Bhagavan had to continue the story.
Yes, of course, he has to continue. He has to continue. Otherwise, would have, if Arjuna had understood at the 2nd chapter itself, Bhagavad Gita would not have been there, right? So, so much. I mean, in the name of Arjuna, Lord has given to us all these things. Okay. So we have to thank the Lord.
So I think we can continue with the discussions a little later. But I think we will continue after this. After we need to complete a few more things, then we will continue. So till then, I think we will hold on. So let me just get back to our the thing. So thank you once again, Dr. Anandaji, for your wonderful talk, and we will discuss on this after we complete this. The rest is, we have a few more things. So we have to finish the closing mantras as well as a couple of announcements. So now we will do the closing mantras. This will be done by our Sri Hariji.
ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय धन्वन्तरमूर्तये अमृतकलशहस्ताय सर्वामयविनाशनाय त्रैलोक्यनाथाय महाविष्णवे स्वाहा। ॐ अच्युताय नमः। ॐ अनन्ताय नमः। ॐ गोविन्दाय नमः। ॐ अच्युताय नमः। ॐ अनन्ताय नमः। ॐ गोविन्दाय नमः। ॐ अच्युताय नमः। ॐ अनन्ताय नमः। ॐ गोविन्दाय नमः। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। कायेन वाचा मनसेन्द्रियैर्वा बुद्ध्यात्मना वा प्रकृते स्वभावात् करोमि यद्यत् सकलं परस्मै नारायणायेति समर्पयामि। सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः, सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः, सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु, मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्। सर्वेषां स्वस्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां शान्तिर्भवतु, सर्वेषां पूर्णं भवतु, सर्वेषां मङ्गलं भवतु। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु। ॐ पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। हरिः ॐ तत्सत्। श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः। हरिः ॐ।
Thank you so much, Sri Hariji, for the closing mantras. Now we have a couple of announcements. Basically, as we said in the beginning, on the 11th of December is the Sampurna Gita Parayan, which happens to be the actual Gita Jayanti day, the day in which Lord Krishna is supposed to, the message of Gita was revealed to the world. We cannot really say that Lord Krishna spoke the message on that day, but it was revealed to the world on this Ekadashi Tithi of Margashira month. So that is the day on 11th of December. So it's happening at 4 p.m. at PGP Hall. All of you are welcome and kindly register at this. There is a link given here, and actually is given in a bit more detail here. 11 December 4 p.m. at PGP Hall. Please register at this bit.ly/GJSEP register. You can see this in Gita Jayanti website also. And special but simple prasad that's meant for the devotees will be served who are fasting on that day, because for some it's also Ekadashi Vratam, whereas for some others the Ekadashi Vratam happens to be on the next day. So for those who are observing the Vratam, the prasadam that is appropriate for Vratam will be also served to all the participants. So please do register and come for this very auspicious chanting of the full Gita. Full Gita. All the 18 chapters will be chanted on that day. Srinivasji, you want to say anything more? Add anything more to this?
Yeah, actually, one thing I said, prasad will be served for everybody, but those who are observing breath, they will be a special prasadam, like palaharam will be available, made available.
Two different types of prasadams are there. Okay. Sorry, I think,
because others cannot think. So that will be there, and we request everybody to join in numbers. Actually, we are looking at a smaller hall at the moment, but if we register and if we have more numbers, then we look at the dining hall, the lower floor for a bigger capacity. So the early registration will help us to determine the exact venue within the PGP hall. Thank you very much. Please spread the word around. We still need a lot more people to come and join us. We understand it's a weekday, 4 o'clock.
That's the one.
But still, Parayan will be going on till about 8 o'clock. So 7:30, 8 o'clock. So even after office hours by 5:30, 6, 7, you are welcome to join. Because even, like they say, even a drop of Ganga will purify you. Even a couplet of verse of Gita will cleanse your mind. So please come and join. Anything chanted in mass, the vibration and the effect is greater. So please do come and join. Thank you very much. And the next session will be the final session for the online Parayan, which will be happening on Saturday 7, just before the Moksha Siddhi Parayan. And Swami Satyalokanandaji from Ramakrishna Mission will be giving the concluding lecture on that day on chapter 18.
That will be only on chapter 18 will be covered on that day, and it's the longest chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Basically there's a Gita verse itself. Swalpam apyasya dharmasya rayato mahato bhayat. So basically, even a small practice of even one verse itself is good. But of course, if you chant all the 18, it'll be even better. So now we come to the end of the session. I think Dr. Anandaji is already here. Anyone wants to ask questions can ask questions to Dr. Anandaji about the talk that he gave or any other topic. So now the stage is open, or people can actually unmute yourself and ask questions.
Krishna Kumarji, GSG, thank you. I need to take leave. Hari Om to everyone. Anandaji, thank you very much again.
Hari Om, Karthik.
Anyone else asking any questions? Please feel free to ask questions.
You have summarized so well my talk, which I wouldn't have summarized. You have summarized so well. I don't know how. So it's great. So I think people should not have any doubts after your summary.
One thing I would say, one thing I want to ask is that when you say Sampath, it's supposed to be some good quality wealth. So how can Asuri be a Sampath?
Yeah, I was also thinking of the same question actually. Basically, Bhagavad talks about both Daivi Sampath as well as Asuri Sampath.
Good question. How can Asuri can be a Sampatti? See, the question is, Sampath, wealth, is in the person who is viewing it. For example, $1 million is a great wealth for somebody. For another billionaire, it is nothing, right? So, like that, Sampatti, he thinks, the person with negativities, he thinks that this is his glory. For example, Duryodhana, he said, this is my Sampath. So, I want to increase this Sampath. So, that's how it is. So, everybody from their viewpoint, it is there. From if Krishna's viewpoint, what Duryodhana is doing is wrong. Same way. Right?
Yeah.
So it is a standpoint. From whose standpoint it is Sampatti, whose standpoint is not Sampatti. That's all. Standpoint.
Thank you.
I think there is a question from Sunilji. Sunilji, please unmute yourself and ask a question. Some noise is coming from somebody. Sunilji.
Yeah, Hari Om. Wonderful session by Anandaji. Actually,
you.
my question might not be related to these two chapters. I think it's related to, a chapter in Bhagavad Gita where Arjuna says to ask Krishna, the mind is more faster than a wind and controlling it seems almost impossible. And Krishna says, Abhyasena Vairagyam. If you do Abhyas and Vairagya, you will able to maintain. But in current scenario, it's like everyone wants an instant stuff, instant noodles and etc. we say. And we do practice and we do Vairagya, just practice it for 2 or 3 days and we say, oh, we failed it again. It's not working. Let's go back to again the same old. Let's reset it actually. But how can we maintain this rhythm? We don't normally in tough scenarios, we forget these stanzas and etc. But how can we ensure that these things are followed rigorously and etc.?
Yeah, correct. What Krishna, when Arjuna asked this question, my mind is so is like a storm, it going here and there and all. How to control this mind? That is his question in the 6th chapter, at the end of the 6th chapter, towards 36 or 37 verse. So he said, practice, abhyasa is the only thing. Yes, same thing he has said in the beginning of the 6th chapter. Ashwaruda. Mind is like a wild horse. How do you control that? Only by taming. How do you tame it? Now, I'll give an example. How do you tame it? You know how the horses are tamed? First, a wild horse. First is comes. How do they catch wild horse? Also is make it is big fence they set up. Big fence. And then you keep the horse inside. Horses go round and round and round, get tired. Then they reduce the fence, circumference. Then it goes. Finally, they're so tired. Then when they come out, in the last, this one, they'll be very tamed. Then they give the food, grass or whatever. Similarly, our mind, wandering mind, it goes out, eking out pleasure from the world. Every now and then it wants to get the pleasure from the world. That is the nature of the mind. You cannot control the mind in that way. Only thing is, if you come to really jnana, only thing is you don't have a mind. But mind is not, I am the subordinate to my mind. I am subordinate to my mind. That's why all these problems come. I have to look the mind apart from it. That's why our chariot of the Bhagavad Gita, in the chariot of the Bhagavad Gita, the mind is compared to the reins. Intellect is the charioteer. Intellect controls the mind. Intellect controls the mind. But in our case, if the mind goes heaven way, mind is controlling, intellect is at the back seat. Intellect has to come forward. Intellect is the one. We should be the master. Mind is the problem. Same thing, right? What happened to Arjuna in the beginning? Karpanya dosha. Krupanata was there. Karpanya dosha means Krupanata. Krunata means miserliness. What is the miserliness? You have the viveka, we have the intellect, you have the buddhi, you are not using it. Use it. That is the dosha. Karpanya dosha is not using our own intellect. That is the Krupanata. Okay? So you cannot control the mind at all. That is the nature of the mind. Until I'll give another analogy and then conclude this answer to this question. In a parliament, suppose there is 500 seats, 400 into one party and 50-50 into other two parties. Who controls? 500 controls. What other cannot do? Similarly, when we have sattva, amsha is more in us, rajas and tamas are low, then sattva controls. Even you may have a rajas and tamas, doesn't matter. It controls. But in our case, what happens is sattva, rajas, tamas, they're all equal proportions or something one. But any one is not majority. Anyone is not in majority. So what we should do? We should increase our sattvic. So definitely the mind can be controlled at that point. Sattva, that's why the whole thing is, sattva should be increased as much as possible. Sattva should be increased through how? Through all other Shravana, Manana, Nidhi, Dhyasana, all those things. Sattva should be increased. Over a period of time, it happens. It cannot be overnight. It will not be today. Noodles and other things are our laukika. It's very easy to that or avoid that, depending on our. It is just like convenience. Okay, today it's there, it's going, and tomorrow is not there. Okay, fine. I'll go back, revert back to my old habits. Yes. You see, I'll give one more finally. Sorry, I give too many examples now. Gurudev used to say, somebody is a chain smoker. He used to say chain smoker, but he stopped smoking. He said, I'm quitting the smoke. Yes, quit. He didn't cut. But finally, he went to a wedding. Somebody brought on a nice plate foreign cigarettes, giving. He kept, no. First time he gave no. Second time he kept. Then what is this? It is offering. This, after all, he's coming with love. What happens? I've given already. I know how to give up. So what happens if I take one? Nothing will happen. I know how to give up. I've given up for many, so many months or a year. So I will take one and smoke. Then he finished the entire pack and then again he got back. See, this is the mind. Mind is, I've given up. Again I come back. It is not complete. Druda, Nishchaya is not there. Form is not, right? That is the problem. Sorry.
Yeah, I think he was Dr. Anandji was talking about consistency, commitment, and continuity.
Yes.
Yeah, this is the essence. I think that is whole life.
Yes.
Then only you can control. I mean, it is not instantaneous.
Yeah, instantaneous you cannot control. It is it's, you see, our body is new in this birth. Body is new, but the mind is traveling all the way. Mind is traveling from many births. To change that mind is not easy. The body is just new. This vasanas will continue. What to do? Yes.
Like I can say, like one of the Olympic medal winners, he said, people look at me that I'm winning the gold just like that, but they don't realize how much of effort and things I put all these years to come to this level. So it is not that easy. So I mean, when you look at the people, without consistency, without continuity, like Krishna would say, it's not possible. There's no instant result in this.
No. Yes, when we see the Mahatmas, like Swami Vivekananda ji or Swami Shivananda ji or Puja Gurudev, Swami Chinmayananda ji, you look at them, we celebrate the Jayantis, all their birthdays and all Jayantis. When you look at the Jayanti, we should not look at just what they taught. Go back and look at how much struggle they have put in to come to this level. Overnight they did become sannyasis or swamis. How much struggle they have put in. Swami Chinmayananda ji was an atheist. He was a lawyer. He was a National Herald editor, what is that? A reporter or writer. Journalist.
Yeah.
He was so atheist that he wanted to expose Swami Shivananda, what he is doing. This is how they convert. So they have put in a lot of effort. When he went to Swami Tapovan said, don't ask me where to sleep. He asked me, where should I sleep? That is not my problem. Mine is only to teach. Then you have to get up at 3:30 to give me a tea at 4 o'clock. He used to sleep with a stone as his pillow to wake him up. What struggles they have gone through. It is not, we cannot even fathom that, what they have gone through.
I should add here, sorry, Anandaji, where he made tea for Tapovan Maharaj. In what condition? Where he made tea for Tapovan Maharaj, in what condition?
Yes. What Uttarakashi, what temperature in the night? And Tapovan Maharaj also said, you have to, Uttarakashi, that ashram is up, you have to, Gangaji flows down, you have to go down and get the water up and put it. Not only that, to go from Shivananda ashram in Rishikesh from Rishikesh to Uttarakashi, he walked all the way. Today we go with car and bus. He walked. And Tapovan Maharaj refused to take him. He said, where is the letter from Shivananji? He has to come back. Shivananji asked, he just wrote a letter, yeah, okay, take it. Why didn't you give in the first place? He said, there was no need. He's testing whether you are so committed to this path. So he went again. Tapon Maharaj even didn't look at the letter. Okay, you came back, no? That itself is great. He didn't look at the letter. So that is what they have gone through. Today, what?
Actually, spirituality is not for the weak-hearted.
Yes, definitely not for the weak-hearted. You have to be strong. First of all, today's Shraddha, faith should be there. Faith should be there. Faith is very important. Without Shraddha, anything you do, no use.
No use, Sekar.
No use. But Shraddha do I develop? Well, let me end this. Shraddha do we develop? No. First, we start with Vishwas, not with Shraddha. We start with Vishwas means belief. We start with belief first. Nobody will develop Shraddha in the beginning. Belief, hopefully it will give some result. This belief, when you continue, consistency, continue, that belief will translate into Shraddha. Belief which when you entertain for a long time, it will become Shraddha, faith. Then only you will know that. Then you know that this is the one. It will give me. I have not seen the result, but I know that today. I know that I've followed. This is the path I want to commit. This is what it is.
Anybody else has any other questions? Already 1:20 here.
Oh,
It's pretty late.
Oh my God.
Yeah, we actually crossed our timing.
And late for Srinivasan ji already.
Yeah, I think Sunilji wants to add something. Want to say something?
Just one last question. Yeah, just one last question.
Yeah, sure, please, Sunil.
Yeah. So as you mentioned that when our mind gets deviated, we have to bring it back to the sattvic form. I mean,
Yes.
sattvic this thing.
Yes.
So one way, if I am not mistaken, correct me, would be to do the namasmarana, right? The namasmarana of the God, or do some japa.
Yes.
To bring back the mind to focus. Yeah, this is what we have to do it, even if we are doing it by mechanical or by rote, or rote means by heart or by just thinking about it, it should give us the effect, though in some time. Cannot commit, but yes, it should, right? Correct me if I'm.
You should do that, but when you stop japa, will the mind be stay in that or it will go back? The question is, when you stop the japa will give you chitta ekagrata, single pointedness. Will it go back after that, just like the let loose? Once your control is over from the horse, it will go off. If you let loose the reins, it should not happen. If you have that, then it's so then it is fine. That is okay. It is fine. Japa, puja, karma yoga, they're all sadhanas. But ultimately, your knowledge, final bridge is only jnana. Jnana should tell you, you don't have a mind. Mind is also a drishya, is also just like this pot I am seeing, I am not the pot. Similarly, mind also I see, I am not the mind. Our dream only tell us, the mind is also I can see, it is not the dream. Similarly, body, mind, intellect, all are drishya for us, all are go through modification. Whatever goes through modification is not me. I am that Brahman. Once this knowledge comes, mind goes, mind doesn't go, mind goes anywhere, mind does japa, mind does puja, mind goes to Tirtha Yatra or nothing, nothing. Bhagavan Adi Shankaracharya ji says in Upadesa Sri, Tirtha Yatra is Manasa Tirtha. You dwell in Aham Brahmasmi, that is the Tirtha where you dip. What is the bath you take? Shravana Mana Nididhyasana is the bath. So that is how we should have that final goal. We should not forget. You are going from Chennai to Delhi. Lot of station in between you get out to eat, drink a cup of tea, but you don't forget your goal. You have to get back and continue. Same way, Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana, Japa, Puja, all are this. But final goal is, I am Brahman. Did I reach that? If I reach that, then there is no issue of you can come back. Now, all adhyasa, superimposition, you remove through apavada. But finally what happened? All Apovada you do it. Then finally you come back from there. This is all Brahman only. Whatever negated, Anatma is also Brahman. Jagat is also Brahman. Nothing is different from Brahman. Brahman alone has manifested this. So that understanding, until it comes, world is a problem, whole samsara is a problem, but not to me. I may have, family may have problems, but I am not that. This, I take whatever action to be taken, my mind takes care, my body takes that action, but I am not. This detachment is when it comes, jnana comes. Until then, sadhana comes, japa comes, everything continues. Okay?
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it's already going to be 1:30.
Yes.
I think so. Maybe we'll close the session for today.
Yes.
So thank you so much to our Dr. Anandaji, and also to our guest of honor, Sri Karthik ji, and all the wonderful lead chanters and all the participants who participated today. Thank you so much, and we offer everything as our offering to Lord Krishna. Thank you so much, and yes,
we also like to thank Krishna Kumar ji for beautifully coordinating this session. Thanks a lot, KKG.
Thank you, Krishna Kumar. Yes.
Thank you so much, and yes, Krishna.
Okay,
see
we'll
you
see
next session on 7th as the final session.
Thank you.